everybody, Jewel back again, another super cool astrology video. And we are talking about composite sun in the 9th house. What happens when we have this going on in a composite chart? So, a composite chart is when we take two birth charts, put them together, and come up with the midpoint between all the planets and points and see how two people blend. So two people really bring, two sets of separate ingredients to a relationship. And the composite chart shows what happens when you mix them up and bake them. What happens, what kind of cake you get, what kind of muffin, what kind of bread, whatever it is. How is it formed? Is it tasty? Is it bitter? This is what the composite chart shows us. So it's the bigger picture than the synastry. When you put two charts side by side or one on top of the other, you can see how people really feel about each other and how they relate more on a day-to-day basis. But the composite chart is the larger picture of how the two people really blend on a longer term basis. So the sun in the composite chart shows, where the main thrust of the relationship is, where most of the energy is, where the goals are, where two people's egos show up in a composite chart. So when we have the sun, the composite sun, coming into the 9th house, now the 9th house is, are the higher mind, our aspirations, our teachers, our higher education, long distance travel, expansion, learning, all that awesome stuff. When we have the composite sun coming into this house, I still have a cold. I'm sorry, I'm just getting over it. My voice is really scratchy. That's why you haven't heard from me for a while, but I'm doing the best I can. So when the sun comes into the 9th house, it's not a particularly romantic placement. It's more of an intellectual, kind of cerebral relating, as opposed to the 8th house where it's very passionate relating. The 9th house is more a philosophic kind of relationship. So it brings kind of a platonic element into things. These people can often start out as friends when we have the sun in this place, and can, end up meeting over, religious or intellectual matters, in classes, that type of thing. So they really see it, their lives, it's not so much a partnership, but as a shared mission together. They really stimulate each other's philosophic and belief systems when they are together. And a lot of times when we see the composite moon in the 9th house, we see it there because these people have formed a partnership because they want a religious lifestyle, or because they want a lifestyle that's based around a certain type of belief system. So it's it's more one that attracts, like attracts like. They tend to be more on the same page about what it is they believe in, where it is they're going in a moral way. Now you have to look at how Saturn is aspecting the sun, or the ruler of the 9th house in the composite chart, because that could show that there's some real issues with the agreement when it comes to the religious or philosophic beliefs. But typically, if we're free of really difficult aspects, and Pluto can do that too, if we're free of those, they tend to be on the same page about what it is they believe and where they're going. And that's a lot of the motivation behind why they got together, so they can live out these beliefs in a mutual fashion. So they, if one of the partners changes their belief system, or changes their religion, or loses their religion, or has, a radical change in outlook of life or philosophy, we can see these relationships really suffer because they are very much based on mutual exchange of ideas. And if there's such a divergent element to the ideas in the relationship, we can see these partnerships a lot of times fall apart because the actual reason they got together has flip-flopped. So that's something that they need to watch out for when we have the composite sun in the 9th house. If we have to have, more contacts, more binding or romantic or passionate or sexual contacts, if we see an incident like that where somebody does, radically change their belief system and consequently typically their lifestyle, if they have enough other contacts, they can compensate for that. But that's a big issue in the relationship if this comes up. So if growth is the main focus of the relationship with the composite sun in the 9th house, they usually do pretty well. Growth is really important in this where the sun is in this instant, because this is the house of expansion, the house of growth. So they really need to feel like they are getting that from each other, like they are, receiving some intellectual or philosophic benefit from each other in the partnership. So, it's not a particularly passionate placement. I do like to see the sun in the 9th house typically because it it tends to be a placement where the people look back in time and actually have a lot of good feelings and memories from this type of relationship. And some of that is actually due to the fact that some of that raw passion is not there. So it really depends on the personalities, how satisfying this placement is. So, hope you enjoyed this. Please subscribe to my channel if you did. I'll be back with more super cool astrology videos. You can find me on the internet at truthandaspectastrology.com. Yes, I do private consultation. I specialize in partner astrology, relationship and intimacy astrology, but I read all types of charts. And you can find me on Facebook at Truth in Aspect Astrology. And I do lots of writing over there, lots of articles, daily birthday descriptions, so certainly join me over there because we have a rockin' good time, and I'll be back super soon. Bye-bye.